September 11th here, Rotoball Patch Compound stop sign. We'll do some walk around the fruit, do some inspections of the fruit itself, the fruit body, and the plant. I'm gonna show you what I look for, what I don't like to see, and what I do like to see. Maybe sometimes they're the same thing. Hold tight, gonna see some things. My basic inspection starts from outside the patch, looking at the canopy, looking at my leaves, inspecting areas for powdery mildew. I know I have powdery mildew, I've seen it, and I'm treating for it. I want to see how my treatment is going. You can see that the sunshine areas that get good proper sunshine don't have that powdery mildews. Areas that hide, are tricky to get to with spray and with sunshine, hold that powdery mildew. This time of year, it is really tough to stay on top. I like to look at overall plant health with the leaves, see if they are falling over. If they are falling over, like that gal right there, get in there and clean that up. Make sure we don't have any rot where it runs into that secondary. When I'm in there, that's when I look at my main vine. I'll trace down it, get an eye on it, see what it's doing. See some old leaves down there need to be dealt with. On to cleanup. Here at the stump, getting ready to take off that leaf that we spoke about. You can see that I'm starting to get some weeds underneath this gal. We're at a point now that I will not try to mess with those weeds whatsoever. They can go. We have 30 days until this gal sees the scale, or less. I'm just doing basic maintenance. Take that off. Sure enough, there's a little bit of rot, a little bit of yuck. That's okay. Not too concerned about it. Stump still looks really nice if you want to call it a stump. It's just where the clone's put in the ground. Chandelier said that he had heard the wise tale, and I'd heard it as well, that the apple tree doesn't produce apples. You kind of shake it or beat around on it and it'll start to produce. Well, my fruit's still moving along, don't need to do that, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little bit of go. Grow, you miserable thing, grow. Thanks for the tip, Shannon. The vantage point from the stump area, good place to take a moment to just evaluate our leaves, check out all those leaves to see what they're doing, and they look good and healthy, you know, considering the age. Like I said, 30 days tops is all we got to get out of these. Some of these gals through here, we're not going to get 30 days, simply put. We got another 10 to 15 days. The guys that have powdery mildew, same scenario. That's a nice grouping of leaves right there. That's going to get to the finish line. Same thing over here. That'll get to the finish line. Under canopy, not bad. And if you look closely, you see some tertiary starting. Volunteer tertiary there. There she is. And we have some over here. If I can get the camera situated to see. Yeah, there's one way over there. Those are important to take off. Those only suck juice from that fruit. The only reason to keep tertiaries like that is if you have the intention or the prospect of cloning a plant yet again, which is currently my intent and prospect. You guys can look forward to a clone series over the winter of how I harvest, manage, and maintain propagations throughout the winter, and what I do to select the proper clone that finally makes it into the patch to end up with a fruit like that. Almost forgot to mention, guess who turned 80 days old today? Happy birthday, sweet Ruby. Keep doing what you're doing. So our fans are still on. These run 24/7. 3 fans just like before, and they will continue to run 24/7. I have no stem issues, and I want to keep it that way. I do not have a fan on the blossom. I believe it's fine. Don't think it needs a fan. Even when the nights start to get into the 40s, and they will. We've touched the low 50s as of late and forecasted into the low 50s in the next 10 days. we will hit the 40s. Those fans will be blowing 40-degree air onto that fruit. It's gonna be cold, it's gonna be miserable, but it's gonna be dry. So there's three areas, main areas that I like to check on a fruit. I like to check the stem, of course, the blossom, which is up underneath-ish, and then the main body itself. I'm gonna start with the main body. The main body just means getting low to where fruit meets sand, or fruit meets fabric, and putting a hand and physically just walking around the fruit, making sure things feel good. Areas that you can't see from every angle. And I'll do a full 360 around this fruit, checking that fruit body. I don't do that every day. That's every 3 to 4 days, just to see what she feels like down there. With our stem, what I do is a visual inspection. I look for new cracks, weepings, anything that wasn't there yesterday. I've been following a crack that you see right here for a few days now, and I think it's fine. I think that the air circulating on it's kept it dry. You can see down below, if I can situate the camera, that we had something similar to that on the lower portion. She healed up nicely and looks good. While I'm at the stem, I kind of feel around. Feels good, feels hard, no issues. Check my vine tension, make sure I have a little bit of a play, and I do. A little bit of play, a little bit of play. This fruit doesn't need a lot more play. It doesn't have a lot more growth left in it. I've been asked, why don't you move your fruit back? And you can see some minor kinks. I'm not moving a fruit this size this late in the game. I will pop nodes, like I said before, and resituate that vine. It's a lot safer. It seems to be a lot smarter to me. On to the blossom end. So you can see that my blossom is underneath this gal. You can see this crack we're looking right at. That's a good, healthy crack. We talked about things you like and you don't like. This right here is that crack. I like it. That means we're growing. You can see some soft oog here where she sapped a little bit overnight. I'll leave that oog there. I don't like it because it makes my fruit look ugly. Let's see if we can trace on down in here and actually look at the blossom. You can probably see some sap bubbles in there, some other cracks running. Nothing major or bad. The key thing is the blossom's healthy and there's no penetrating cracks, and what cracks are there are healing. It's good to see sap spots too. Sap spots are a good indicator that that area is still getting some juice, which is what we want. Hey folks, thanks for sticking around to the end. I know this is another one of those long videos, but I hope it to be a good one. I really think it's important to keep an eye on your fruit and your plant health as you move forward through the season, especially when you get close to the scale time. Little problems caught early can save you big problems that may end up keeping you off the scale. So it's important to do your visual checks and your tactile sensation, rubbing around on fruit and areas to make sure things are healthy. As always, if you have any questions or comments, hit me up. I'm always available for any type of inquiries that you may have. Until next Monday, keep them happy, keep them healthy. Scales are coming. Doc out.